Chapter 15. Rekindled. The final chapter. 8 years passed after the fall of Harbinger, and the darkness had nearly engulfed two worlds in its abyss. Lightless abyss. Millicent bore 6 children with the Elden Lord after 2 years of adventuring and strolling the land as a formidable duo, aided by their friend and ally Haenus. They took Fort Hate as their home, a modest small-sized fortress that was in need of love and care, and the resident Lord Kenneth Height did not mind the company at all, as it was far more desirable than the company of ghosts. Now, I might pronounce that wrong. It's either Hate or Height, Fort Hate, Fort Height, Lord Kenneth Height. Oh yeah. Millicent named 2 of her daughters, Melania and Marika, to show her appreciation to the bodies that gave her life. The Elden Lord and Millicent would still make a formidable pair when raising their children, for no child was spoiled or left needing a perfect balance. Fort Hate was manned by numerous guards of Haenus's clan order, the Blue Fellows, and their blue gilded armour dazzled in the sun as it was famous for. The walls were mended, and the fort had never looked finer, for it truly was a formidable home to both the Elden Lord and the heiress of Marika herself, for none of their family remained to take up the mantle. A village was built outside the fortress, serving as the clan's home. For too long they had been a nomadic tribal order that often was harassed and assailed by enemy that would deplete their number in vast quantity. Now they stood strong and proud again, serving the Elden Lord and often calling Millicent the Elden Queen, for although she was a lady, she was also a queen by birthright. The sun dazzled the vast horizon as dusk began to bring an end to its daily golden rain. Millicent and the Elden Lord were talking upon the castle walls, smiling as the company they kept had still shone brighter and more fierce the love they had in each other. Wouldn't be very good if they loved each other, would it? What a beautiful day it is, just like yesterday and the days last. We truly are blessed to see upon a land that is teeming with beauty and life again, exclaimed Millicent, taking a deep breath as the dusking sun glazed her golden eyes even more so. The Elden Lord held her hand. Well, we worked for it, didn't we? Those 2 years were practically a crusade. We killed so many accursed. It truly feels grand that our struggles have built a world where we can finally raise our children in light and grace. A ruckus began in the courtyard of the fort. Fierce sword fighting between the 2 twins Melania and Marika ensued, as the clashing stunned their brothers and sister-in-law, as if the 2 sparring duo were possessed by divine swordsmen at the young age of 6. Marika had golden hair like her namesake, and Melania had red hair also like her namesake, and she liked to wear the helmet of Melania, a token trophy that the Elden Lord had kept on him from so long ago. Both girls were fascinated by their namesakes. "Will you bloody kids keep it down? I am trying to have my evening nap," shouted Lord Kenneth Hate, as his thunderous voice echoed leaps and bounds higher and further than the children's ever did, and subdued them in a shock, before continuing with their duels. Ugh, there he goes again, like clockwork every day, said the Elden Lord with a smile. Maybe they should go be a little oh, hold on. Maybe they should uh, maybe they should be a little quieter. Every time Melania and Marika fight, they don't just duel. They have epic battles fitting for a Sega. Millicent stood, watching her daughters from the battlements. Have you noticed that Marika looks like Marika every day? And Melania looks like Melania too. The Elden Lord smiled. That is a wordful. But are you saying that they are the same person, or are you saying they just look like them? Which is it, my love? Well, I was reborn, so why could they not be too? We do not understand what really happened. Perhaps their souls somehow were transferred back into their forms through their conception? My scarlet-haired darling, I am far too tired for this talk. Our sons woke me very early, and Hana started yapping greatly about our travels ahead. Perhaps what you say is true, but considering that they died by my sword, I do think such a thing such as their rebirth would be an awkwardness. Millicent did not say anything but smiled as they held each other's hands. The Erd tree in the vast distance beyond them had begun again to bloom with vigour and resilience, and while it still healed and restored itself, its golden radiance graced the land once again, for it too had a rebirth. Millicent turned to the Elden Lord. So are you still going, my love? How long will you be? The Elden Lord stood proudly upon that wall, knowing he was loved, and that he had fathered strong children that showed remarkable feats of strength and volition upon anything that they set their minds to. I will be gone for a year. I shall be back perhaps this time next summer. Millicent looked to him and frowned, for a sadness brewed inside her heart. Do not worry, my love, for you cannot go with me. Do not worry, my love, for you cannot go with me, for the children need you here. But know you will always be with me, even in my hardest battles to come. Let us be frank, my love. Lord Kenneth isn't exactly the best childminder. Lord Kenneth isn't exactly the best childminder to consider raising our children for the next year. Millicent gave a subtle smile. Yes, he rather sleeps a lot, and I would fear what Melania would do with us not around. The trickery that girl gets up to is a feat in itself. Is it really that much of a concern up there? Yes. Apparently a cult of blood moon worshippers have taken over the ash city of Lendel, and have begun to excavate the city in hopes of attaining powerful artifacts and magic left behind by the Imperiums. Not exactly your usual nonsense, for a power is directing them into malicious means. Millicent sighed, looking upon the city in the far, far, far distance beyond. Very well, I know you will be safe, but why not use a sight of grace to travel back to us so? That is the thing, love. That is the thing, love. I can't. I have tried to use it, but with the round table hole now gone, some form of energy has been exhausted that gave ease to my travel. I first noticed it 4 years ago, when our son was born. I wanted to give him a dragonborn that I slew in Caelid, but when I did so, I could not transport myself. I have told you this a few times before. Yes, you did. I just hoped something had changed, or you had discovered a way to bring yourself back to me. Perhaps you need a new round table hold? Quite right. Know any suitable candidates? The Elden Lord said with a miniature laugh, for he never could see himself as a master of an order. I will miss you. I too, but I have your needle still, and even although your soul no longer resides in it, I still feel your presence within it. But you have my heart with you. But you have my heart within your hands also. The morning of the next day, the Elden Lord, Millicent, and his 6 children gathered outside of the gatehouse of the fortress as the Elden Lord began to depart for his journey. Goodbye, my love, and goodbye, my children. Marika, you are turning into a beautiful flower. And Melania? Try to go easy on Kenneth, would you? The man may be a clout, but he is old, and you should pester him less. Or at the very least, let him nap. Melania and Marika giggled as the morning sun gleamed from Marika's golden hair and Melania's red scarlet hair, showing some ethereal clash in colour, foreboding of the future or a blessed unity. The children waved as their Elden Lord father rode down the path and through the village of the Blue Fellows, and gently rode over the sprawling hills in the distance. The Elden Lord, once a good mile away from the forest, noticed he was being followed. It was Melania. She was curious than ever. "And where do you think you are going, miss?" said the Elden Lord inquisitively. "I'm coming with you, to slay giants and dragons, and I will bring back their heads as trophies." Enos laughed. "I wish it was that easy." "Oh wait, it is. But you are far too young. Go back to your mother, little one." Melania grew sad at her core, as she truly felt she was going on a great adventure. The joys from the imagination of the youth. "I don't want to go back," she said very shy-like, kicking the ground with her feet softly as dust rustled into the air, mucking the helmet of her grandmother. The Elden Lord jumped down from Torrent and embraced Melania, for he knew she was feeling isolated. "I need you to look after your mother. Now we know that your mother is a formidable woman, and she is capable of looking after every one of you and more. But she is also afraid for you, and if you come with me, she will be worried, for she thinks you are back in the fortress. Can you go back to her and look after her? For she, although strong, is quite a delicate creature, and I would hate for her to miss you so." Melania sighed. "Fine, I will go back. But can I have a few coins for the inn? I want I want to get a steak pie." The Elden Lord shook his head. "A steak pie? Yes. Here you go. You bleed me dry more than your namesake." Melania giggled and ran off back to the village. The Elden Lord mounted Torrent to give him a higher angle view, and watched her as she safely reached home. But he too was afraid for her, as not all darkness and accursed was slain in the world. "I cannot believe that girl is 6 years old, knows how to throw a sword, and is intellectually capable of sneaking up on us, grifting you out of your money, and then runs off with no fatigue a mile. Outstanding." Enos laughed as he said these words, looking to the Elden Lord, who sat so proudly on Torrent as he smelled the air of flowers and nectar. The Elden Lord stared at Enos's eyes. "Yes, I don't know whether you are complimenting me or insulting me. Oh, I am insulting you. It is obvious she gets it from her mother. The Elden Lord smiled and shook his head as light shone down on the grassy road beneath them and turned it into a sea of gold. Yes, she truly has the blood of Empyreans running through her, for who am I but a tarnished? Haenus rode up next to his friend and placed his hand upon the Elden Lord's shoulder. You are their father, and my friend, and you have given the world so much. Never doubt yourself, for you do a disservice to all who know you or knew you. Quite right, friend. Be done. That night, they both drank underneath a blanket of stars yet again. As sky rocks began to fall from the ethereal heavens above, they showed dazzling lights of beauty and sorcery, for they were considered good omens for travellers and merchants alike. Wow! Did you see that one? That one was red, while the one behind it was purple. I wonder why the colours are given by their falling demise. Said Haenus, drinking his warm ale by the campfire as insects danced and mated in the summer night. Marika would have loved that one. I wonder if she is watching them now. Obviously, your children are unruly with their bedtime. Remember when Millicent had to supervise them when they were free, because they kept escaping from their rooms at night, only for her to give up when they were 5, because they started climbing out of the window? Yes, Marika fell once, from 20 feet, and she had not a scratch upon her. All the children show abilities of regeneration, but then again, the circumstances are not exactly proper. Do you think they can die? Or do you think they can come back? Like you, Lord. A cold shudder crept up the Elden Lord's spine. I would never harbour such a thought or idea. Best not to dwell on such things, and instead be grateful for them to be blessed with good fortune in health. Yes, well said. I believe I have drank a bit too much. The Elden Lord raised his cup to Haenus. The Elden Lord raised his cup to Haenus's, and they both toasted to the health of the Elden family. The Elden Lord pointed to the starry sky. Oh, did you see that one? That one pierced the sky with a thunder in the air. The trail of dust in the sky is quite euphoric. It even sparkles with magic. Reminds me of the time Millicent and Jarbane tackled that sand snake, only to swallow them whole. Ooh, hold on. It was a beautiful sight when the Lady Millicent blew it apart from the inside with her divine light. Truly beautiful. The Elden Lord toasted again to her feats. You know, I never told you this, but she can best even me in combat. I felled Marika and Melania, but she is an entirely new breed altogether. But you weren't trying to harm her, no? Or it would make sense to be unable to defeat her. The Elden Lord gave a subtle look and raised an eyebrow. Well, let us just say that they get very heated, and sometimes I think because I cannot die, she is trying. Hold on. I think because I cannot die, she was trying to kill me. She is quite a force. I remembered the first time we raised blades against each other. She nearly took my head off. The tensions were so heated that later that night we conceived, and 9 months later she brought Marika and Melania into the world. That was the end and start of a new line of adventure itself. You are truly blessed, sir, said Haines as he downed an entire tankard of Kenneth's homemade stout. The Elden Lord looked at Haines, who was quite in a state of here and there, with the drink he was swigging. Whoa, settle down there, friend. Wait, is that Kenneth Stout? You dare pilfer from a lord of the land? I am shocked, sir. Haines shook his head. Ha! Please. I think the man just makes it to be taken at this point. Have you ever noticed that when there is enough of it, he stops making more? I only take it to bring him happiness, for he truly makes good drink. The lads in the inn call him the Lord of Ale. The Elden Lord patted Torrent, graciously stroking his head with affection, before feeding him some of his crisp and red rosy apples. Torrent kicked his hooves into the ground with joy. The Lord of Ale! Don't let him hear that. I can barely tolerate his mourning as it is. Are the banners unfurled? Have the rugs been washed? Who is cleaning this place? Why is there candle wax everywhere? He really likes to throw his voice about. I almost get a little sense of joy when Melania pulls one of her tricks on him. Oh, I forgot to mention, Marika. Have you noticed that your daughter likes to crash into people when she duels them? She tackled Melania the other day to the ground and started pulling her hair. Yes and no. Yes, I know she likes to crash into things and people. She has been doing that since she was 2 years old. And no, I didn't know what that happened. It is probably best we are far from the fortress when their mother finds out. Millicent really does not like them fighting each other so viciously. Now that is an understatement, my lord. In the morning they departed from their nightly camp and made way through the land towards the royal capital of Lendell. 10 miles into their journey, a crashing sound was heard, followed by a shaking of the earth. The road ahead was blocked by a tree, and slowly emerging from its rustling greenery was a great giant that wielded a club of stone. It stood almost smiling at the Elden Lord and his companion. Oh, I am far too hungover and drunk for this. But I will manage. Only my drink can bring me low, shouted Haines, stumbling as he tried to dismount his horse and unsheathe his sword. The Elden Lord smiled, shook his head, and gracefully dismounted from Torrent, patting him fondly before leading in front and unlatching Geod's Slayer from his back, wielding it as ethereal energy flowed through both Elden Lord and sword before turning his head back to Haines as the giant grew confused, scratching its head before them. I have this. And so we are at the end of the 47,000 worded story I wrote. Now, I wrote this story because I wanted to sort of see how well it would do on YouTube. And I don't think it's going to get any views. Like, it's going to get very little views, and I think it's going to get buried. Uh, honestly, if there's someone who has reached this far, honestly, I cannot thank you enough. Like, you have no idea, or you probably do, of how hard in the world of today it is to get the attention of people to last this long. If you cannot get the attention of people within 5 seconds, you could create something beautiful and it will never get found. Whereas 10 years ago it was much easier, and 20 years ago before that it was even easier so. And I didn't use AI to make this. I did use AI for the thumbnails, but I might switch the thumbnails. I mean, you can tell from the way I talk about how crystal lakes among golden rivers and gilded grass and oak woods of dark, ruinous powers and ethereal skies glisten with blue hue, and you can tell I don't, like, you can tell that what I've wrote here is mine. And I know a lot of people are using AI these days, but yeah. Even using the thumbnails, the AI made me feel uncomfortable. And I mean, I've generated loads of AI artworks. I mean, when it came out, I was like saving hundreds of them. I was like, oh, gotta save this, gotta save this. But yeah, I don't really value those artworks anymore because it's just a bunch of algorithms. But AI can't replicate this writing because, I mean, if you put it in an AI, it'll immediately say that lots of things have been done intentionally. Like I use a lot of commas. You can read this on Wattpad. It's just under the same name, Heart of Rot, Elden Ring. And yeah, I wanted to thank you if you have made it this far. Honestly, I don't think no one's made it this far. I don't think anyone's going to make it this far. I don't think a single person will meet this far. I think this is just going to get buried. Obviously, I mean, I'm just talking myself at this point. But I realised that this is a beautiful story. Like, I wrote it out, and I really enjoyed writing it. And ever since I learned how to weave words into a form, like, that makes sense. Especially when you learn how to use a semicolon, because then you could have like separate sentences that are connected to the sentence before it. So, like, when you know how to do that, you can formulate stories that are so vivid and magical. And honestly, I've just been reading the last 10 episodes, 11 episodes off the bat, and this story was, I don't want to sound arrogant, but I mean, I really enjoyed reading this story. It was really, like, it's a really nice story. Like, it was just something I did for YouTube as well. Now, I sound like an arrogant prick. I hope you could understand this, me narrating it. I know I've got a heavy accent, but, yeah, if you like and subscribe my channel, you can find current future projects that I do, although YouTube doesn't really recommend them much. Oh, sorry, YouTube has actually started recommending subscribed channels again, so maybe you might see it. But anyway, thank you for watching, and maybe I'll see you in the next project. Adios, amigos.